Is it too late for you to start MMA? Stay tuned and find out. Hi, my name is Mark Leichner from MMAcoach.net, where we help coaches, fighters and enthusiasts reach their fullest MMA potential. One of the most frequent questions I get in the comments, and also when people inquire about training with me, is am I too old to train MMA, or am I too old to compete? I'm 19, I'm 25, I'm 26, I'm 32, I'm 40. Pick the age, it's all over the place, and everybody is asking if they're too old to start MMA. And most of it is by people who want to compete, meaning mostly younger guys, but for some reason they feel they're too old to start doing MMA, and they inquire about can they do it competitively, can they become a UFC fighter one day. Well, I mostly have bad news for you, but hear me out until the end of the video. Most of you will not make it as UFC fighters. And I'm not saying this to be an asshole, I'm not saying this to discourage you from training MMA, it's just the way it is. I've talked about it before in this video over here, and you can also find it in the description, where I explained what is the process of becoming a UFC fighter and how not many people can do that. And I'm going to summarize it now. The point is that there are so many people that start off training MMA, but very few of them actually make it to the UFC and become professionals that earn money from fighting. Maybe make it to the top 10 or top 5. Very, very few. And only one becomes a champion. So from the perspective of the statistics, it's not going to be very easy for you to become an MMA fighter. Almost impossible, because there are not a lot of people that can make it. It takes a lot to become an MMA fighter, and I've discussed that in this video over here. And as I said before, I'm not saying this to discourage you. By all means, if you want to do it, if you want to try it, go ahead and do it. But the probability of you succeeding in becoming a pro fighter is very low. On the other hand, I'm bound to be wrong about some of you guys, because some of you will become MMA fighters, some of you will become top 10 fighters and maybe even champions, but most of you won't. Does that mean that you should not be training MMA? Not at all. MMA has so much to offer you. Even if you're older, even if you don't have any ambition of becoming a competitor at all, MMA can bring you so much joy in your life. And I'm going to make a video purely on that subject. I'm just going to touch lightly on it now, which means that you get to train MMA, you get to be healthy, you get to use your body, you get to feel more confident and secure in yourself. That alone is rewarding enough for you to start doing MMA, no matter how old you are. Of course, you have to take into account your talent. Let's say you want to train MMA either recreationally or you have an ambition to become a fighter. Good. I don't know how long it will take you. Some people are very talented. So take for example Khalil Roundtree. I was impressed by him. I saw his interview on Joe Rogan's podcast. He said I think he started MMA, Thai boxing at 19. He was overweight. He lost weight gradually. He started fighting in Thai boxing. Then he transitioned into MMA. So from a guy that was overweight and was playing music to a guy that is a killer right now. That's amazing. But there is something special about him. And not all of us are the same. And I've had students of all ages. I've had people start MMA at 35, 39, 40 something, 19, 16, 15, any age you can imagine. I've had students, except little kids, because I don't coach little kids. And the one common thing is they all get into the best shape of their life if they continue training, if they're regular in training. If they're not, of course, nothing can help you. If you don't train, no, you cannot achieve any goal, any fitness goal or martial arts goal. But if you do, you're going to become the best version of yourself. And that's my goal with my students, either the students I train personally or online, is for them to become the best version of themselves. Can I become John Jones? No, I cannot. I don't have the genetics, I don't have the talent, I don't have the techniques or whatever. Or can you become, I don't know who, Israel Adesanya? Probably not. But you can become the best version of yourself, and that's all you can ask from yourself. So, or at least get very close to it. I'll give you an example. I've had a guy that started training MMA with me. He was like 39, but he has a very exceptional genetics. So 39. Before that, he was maybe doing a little bit of a gym. He did some boxing, but he was very gifted physically. And after a few years, we couldn't do anything to him in the gym. He dominated us all in the gym, but he was present at every training. He was a very good student, asking questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? He was very attentive in training. So when you combine all those things, you can get pretty good results. Maybe not everybody can be like him because they don't have the genetics for strength, endurance, and talent for technique. But if you go into an MMA academy and you start training and you do all the things that coach tells you, you will become better. And you will become the best that you can be if you apply yourself to training. And when I say best version of yourself, take this with a caveat. Of course, you can be an even better version of yourself if you train 2 or 3 times a day like pro fighters do, which is unrealistic for most people. But if you train 3 times a week, maybe do some other exercises on those days that you don't train, you're gonna get very, very far. You can get very, very good at fighting. So I encourage you to start training MMA or any martial arts that piques your interest. Start training no matter what age you are. You think you're too old, maybe you're, I don't know, whatever age you are, you think you're too old, let's say 27. Too old for what? In 4 years' time or 5 years' time, you're gonna be a monster if you keep training. In 6 months, if you train regularly for 6 months, you will not be able to recognize yourself. Even if you haven't trained anything in your life. I've had people that come to me, they've trained nothing. And I told them, you're going to be in the best shape of your life after 6 months. They don't believe me, but they keep training and they are in the best shape of their life. In 2 years even better, in 4 years even better. So don't let your age discourage you. It's just a number on a paper and a state of mind. That's it. That's what age is.
Many MMA champions use ground and pound as their go-to strategy. If you want to learn how to do it properly, check out my Total Ground and Pound Blueprint Instructional. The link is in the description.
Tell me, how old are you and how long have you been training MMA? Also, have you ever experienced these thoughts that you are too old to start training MMA? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, like it and share it, and you can also subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like a more in-depth MMA training, check out our instructionals. My name is Mark Leichner from MMAcoach.net, and I will see you again very soon.